Fox News confirming that about 50 pages of missing texts from disgraced FBI officials Peter Strzok and Lisa Page were provided to House committees late today. The texts cover a critical period from December 2016 to June 2017, but many of them are totally incomprehensible. Blamed on a technical issue with FBI-issued Samsung phones. You buy that? Government watchdog Judicial Watch releasing nearly 300 pages of newly uncovered Hillary Clinton emails sent and received over her unsecure private server. The emails, dated from 2010 through 2013, contained classified information and detailed collusion between the Clinton State Department and the Clinton Foundation. Joining me right now, Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton. Good to see you, Tom.
Hey,
I'm going to start first with these Lisa and Peter text messages, because I'd like to know how that all got garbled. Why is it that we're blaming bad government technology, which I'm sure is probably at times quite bad, but I find it suspicious that it's bad when it comes to, in particular, these messages between these two?
Well, you know, if you were a private company and the Congress had subpoenaed documents or you knew documents were responsive to investigations and you said, well, they've gone missing, what would the government do? What would the FBI do? They'd raid your offices, but in this case, it's the FBI. And frankly, when it came out that the emails or the text messages supposedly were missing, Jeff Sessions and the Justice Department should have sent the U.S. Marshals over to the FBI to find them. And the IG evidently has recovered them. But this is the third instance of emails and messages that have disappeared but reappeared. Remember Lois Lerner's emails that were missing or deleted?
Yes.
Well, they found them. Hillary Clinton's deleted emails. Well, the emails you're talking about tonight were emails that the FBI found. So don't you believe it when they say emails or text messages are missing, because it simply isn't reality anymore.
Gosh, I mean, I got to ask you as well, you know, we were watching earlier the James Comey interview with Bret Baier, who did a wonderful, wonderful job questioning him. As Ed Rollins said, he's pretty slippery, though, and kind of dodged, much like Muhammad Ali, in and out of some of these questions. But one thing that surprised me was that when he was asked, did you think that there was any bias when you read those texts between Lisa and Peter? He said, no, I didn't see any bias in that. I mean, I don't know what normal, halfway intelligent person, Tom, would read those text messages and not think that those people didn't like Donald Trump. That's bias.
Well, Robert Mueller saw bias and removed him from the investigation. You know, for Comey to admit there was bias in these text messages would undermine his own credibility. After all, Strzok and Page were one of her, you know, part of his inner circle there, the top leadership at the FBI. And to acknowledge they had bias, or there was this in-your-face evidence of bias, would call into question everything they had been doing with respect to Hillary Clinton, because remember, Peter Strzok was running the Clinton investigation and was a key person in the Trump-Russia investigations as well, under Comey and through Mueller.
So let's get to Clinton here, because you guys have been digging and digging and digging, and you now have a whole bunch of emails dated from 2010 through 2013, classified stuff that Clinton was emailing from her unsecure server. Give us some highlights. What are you finding here in these? Is there a theme at all? Run us through what you've seen.
Well, the theme is Hillary Clinton's utter contempt for the rule of law and the handling of classified information. She's communicating with the former Prime Minister of Great Britain, Tony Blair, about sensitive issues in the Middle East related to Israel peace and things like that. We don't know exactly because they were blacked out. And these emails were withheld from the American people, or she tried to delete them or otherwise hid them, and the FBI allegedly went and found them. So when Hillary Clinton didn't turn over records to the government, those records included these classified records. And we're getting these out about once every month or so, and there are thousands of more coming. And the records also show there was little daylight between the Clinton Foundation, the Clinton State Department, and the Clinton family business, meaning Hillary Bill's speaking engagements. They were working hand in glove, and it was not what she promised, and arguably violated the law.
Look, I've been to some of the Clinton Global Initiatives. And I always get a kick out of how many sort of rather dubious billionaires, shall we say, from around the world are gathered there, but they're given this instant stamp of credibility because as soon as, Bill Clinton's got his arm around you because you're given however much in a donation, you're suddenly legit. And so I always wondered about it, and given what we have learned, I think that we have just started to scratch the surface. Lots of questions there for sure. And look, I just believe in church and state, right? When it comes to home, and in this case, when you're head of the State Department, your husband shouldn't be taking $250,000 or $500,000 speeches from countries that are considered our enemies anyway.
But just quickly, they're investigating Donald Trump over nothing. Here you've got this in-your-face evidence of criminality by Hillary Clinton. Where is the DOJ? James Comey said she didn't do anything wrong. Does this Justice Department agree with him on that? It's an interesting question.